And meme cryptocurrency Dogecoin has rallied roughly 40% in the last 10 days, outpacing the gains in Ether and Bitcoin. It has also garnered attention from other projects, including one called Dogechain. Joining us now to discuss is CoinDesk Ethereum protocol reporter Margot Nykirk. Margot, great to have you joining us this morning. So you wrote an explainer article on CoinDesk.com about this. What is Dogechain? Not to be confused with Dogecoin, of course.
Yeah, that's right. Dogechain and Dogecoin are not the same thing. So Dogechain is a side chain of Dogecoin. It was launched it went live back in August, and it's been marketed ever since as a layer 2. But if you read the white paper of Dogechain, you'll see that it uses Polygon Edge technology, which is basically a customizable framework that builds sidechains. And so this distinction between sidechains and layer 2s, I think, are really important for users to understand if they do decide to interact with Dogechain. So what's a sidechain? A sidechain is basically a separate blockchain network that runs parallel to a main blockchain. So in this case, Dogechain runs parallel to Dogecoin, and they interact with each other through a thing called a bridge, which allows for smoother exchanges of transactions between the two. Layer 2s, on the other hand, are built on top of a layer 1, and they are there to process transactions faster and lower gas prices. And they do this by bundling up a bunch of transactions and sending them back to a main blockchain, where they go through some kind of security check to make sure that those transactions are not spoofed with or not tampered with. And so when Dogechain says that they are layer 2, I think it's or markets itself as a layer 2, I think it's really important for users to understand what they are dealing with and what they're using with, because they may not be having that same security check when it comes to using a layer 2 versus a sidechain.
Okay, so what is anyone doing with Dogechain? Like what do you actually do with it? What's being built on it? Why should I care, if you will?
Right. So, I mean, I think the hype around it is just because a lot of it is related to this, they share a similar name, so there might be a lot of confusion. Because it was launched back in August, there's not a whole lot built on top of it. You can use your Doge to get wrap Doge and then interact with DeFi. But when I spoke with some people at Dogechain, they had mentioned that they are looking to make NFTs related to the meme of the Shiba Inu dog that Dogecoin is associated with, and that they're developing some decentralized applications around it. But there's not a whole lot that the two have in common, except for sharing the name and confusing some users who may want to use Dogecoin instead. But yeah, there's not that much associated between the two.
So it's just like a framework, but nothing actually happening.
Yeah, I think the point of the project is to sort of expand the Dogecoin ecosystem, especially, Elon Musk is often in the news and he's often touting about Dogecoin, and maybe it's a way of sort of developing more projects related to that. But yeah, as on the screen, this is actually a tweet that one of the foundation members of the Dogecoin Foundation, even I having a hard time switching the two. But this is a tweet from the Dogecoin Foundation board member when Dogechain was launched, basically saying that the foundation, the developers, anyone sort of associated with Dogecoin does not have an affiliation with Dogechain and its token.
Okay, so I'm curious, Margot, who is using and buying up Dogechain, and how are they separating that confusion with Dogecoin, or are there, ties between the communities?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know who exactly is using Dogechain, but I think there's a lot of confusion between for users who may have heard of Dogecoin and they see Dogechain in the news. In fact, I think back in October, CoinDesk had reported that the price of Dogechain had tripled in the span of a week, probably because of news related to Twitter and Elon Musk and Dogecoin. So yeah, it's fairly new. There's not a whole lot out there on who's using it. I just think it's maybe piggybacking off of Dogecoin.